Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of March the 11th, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you. Very tired, Brian and Michaela here with you because we had a bit of a late one last night, Michaela, because it was
We
Oscar
did.
night.
It was Oscar night. It's the best night in the whole year. It's like as if like Super Bowl Sunday and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve all combined into
Yeah.
one night where we drink our faces off. I cry at like everything.
Hmm.
We watch all of the winners. We look at the red carpet. We have our own red carpet. And everybody should do that. I think no matter what, like if the Oscars aren't your thing and something else is your thing, buy a red carpet. Just put it on the ground. You feel so much better walking across it.
That's right. Just always have a red carpet ready to
Yeah,
go at any time. Always have that. Always have some Don Julio tequila. That's what we were getting into last night. If you listened last week to our lobby bar, we mixed up a tequila cocktail, and then we also did a tequila drink from the governor's ball. It's showtime on our Oscar preview show that we were joined in from Jake from Mayhem Pictures and Galaxy of Film. That was a really fun episode. We kind of ran through all of the categories, gave our picks, said what we thought were going to win, made our predictions, and in the end, I failed. I failed myself. I failed the listeners that's had put their faith in me because
oh,
Michaela was the big Drink the Movies host winner, at least. So congratulations to you, Michaela.
well, thank you very much. I believe that we are now even because in the four
Mm,
years,
yes.
you won the first two, smoked me, and now we are even. So you shouldn't feel bad because we're still only tied. Next year is going to be the big year.
We are still only tied. We did, however, not win our Oscar pick'em. Had a really great time doing that this year. Record number of entrants this year. That was awesome. We had entrants from three different countries. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool. The global reach of Drink the Movies is getting out there. I love to see that. I love to see that. And in the end, our winner was Trish with 19 correct picks. That's amazing. Very good job. Got in contact with you to get that prize package sent out. So congratulations to our big winner there for the evening, and that's exciting. It's fun running through those. Unfortunately for both of us, your husband beat us this year, so we had to hear that from him all night and this morning again. So congratulations to him, I guess, for winning the household vote. But pretty good Oscars, I thought. Pacing was good. I thought the hosting was good. The looks were good. Uh, what do you think about the Oscars? Just kind of overall, and then we'll run through the
Um,
winners here, Michaela.
yeah, this one was pretty good. I think it was very. It started an hour earlier, which I did not realize, and that was a bid to not have it end at like midnight. That didn't matter because we drank our faces off until like 2 a.m. But
Mm,
I
hmm.
I Jimmy Kimmel was great. I thought he
Hmm.
is pretty good at making fun of things in a really kind of, I don't want to say family friendly way, but like he makes fun of things without making fun of people. And I really like that.
Mm,
Um,
hmm.
he's kind of situational humor is pretty good. I think some of the things that they did to celebrate and poke at like the fact that this was like the 30th anniversary from when the streaker happened across the stage and for best costume and some of the bits that they did around the presenting was pretty good.
Hmm.
It was good Oscars.
Yeah, it was good Oscars. It did start early, so it wrapped up about 10:30, at least here on the East Coast. So that was nice. That was a good pacing for that. Jimmy Kimmel, I thought, did a really good job. Was humorous enough and wasn't out there for a lot of that. Pretty much kept it streamlined with the presenters, but I thought he did a good job. That was his fourth time hosting, so I guess fourth time's a charm there. So like that. I'm Just Ken, musical performance. That was probably the highlight of the night, at least for me. I thought that was amazing and epic and so much fun, and everyone seemed to be having an amazing time with it. And of course, Billie Eilish's performance there was bringing out all the tears. I think like the ovation was already standing before she even had finished the song. So that was pretty exciting, but nothing like too crazy happened. None of the fashion seemed super crazy or out there. Everyone just looked good. There was there was like a low lapel look for the gentleman. I'm gonna have to look into that for my own fashion stylings, I think.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then floating sleeves. That was a whole thing. Emily Blunt had these floating sleeves that were like a total thing. Um, didn't look very comfortable, but really interesting styling. I thought that was good.
Hmm.
Yeah, everybody looked great. There was no, we didn't have any weird wardrobe malfunctions or anything like that this year. So that's always good to see. Very classic. I don't know. It seemed more subdued this time, right?
Hmm.
Um, there wasn't a lot of it. We just kind of moved right along. They just kept moving along with the bringing out of the presenters. And at first, I thought we were going to really run over because the very first presenter group was for Best Supporting Actress, and there were five previous supporting actress winners that were there to
Hmm.
kind of pay homage to the current nominees. And I thought, oh gosh, if they do this for every single acting award, we're going to be in trouble. But it went pretty quick.
Yeah, it went pretty quick. Yeah, that was something new that they did this year. They had five kind of uh I don't know, like friends or something that just came out and gave a little spiel about each of the acting nominees, and that was kind of nice. But yeah, I was very much worried that that was going to be an indicator for how long things were going to go. But I kind of liked that. I thought it was a nice little tribute to the actors there. They also came out and did a little tribute to the kind of behind the scenes movie crews and staff who were also, you know, supportive during the strike. That was nice. They also did a little look at, you know, stunt performances,
Yeah.
which was a pretty neat little touch there as well. And we found out there's going to be a new category starting next year for best casting. That is a really nice little nod there to who's actually, you know, assembling the cast for all of these people. We have something. Some similar stuff like we have like best ensemble in some of the awards shows. We'll do stuff like that. That might go to casting directors. I'm not 100% sure, but it will be nice to get some more people, you know, in the mix here come Oscars next year.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Well, let's go through some of these winners. We had some big winners. We had some upsets. We had some shocks. Uh, here at Drink the
We
Movies,
did.
there were a couple things where I was like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?" But all good things. Nothing too upsetting, I don't think. Looking at
Uh,
you, Robot Dreams.
yeah, yeah. Robot Dreams, thankfully, you know, one we hadn't seen. Although Boy and the Heron was something that we hadn't seen that was the big winner on the night. So yeah, so let's run through these. We're not going to dwell on these too much. We kind of already went through and gave our kind of thoughts and opinions about each of these categories. But let's start here at the top, Michaela. Best Supporting Actress. We had Divine Joy Randolph from The Holdovers was the big winner. She was already in tears from the spiel they gave about her, like previous to it. I know you were sharing in those tears, so that was a really good win there for Divine Joy Randolph. I think that was the favorite going into tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. She looked beautiful. I love the acceptance speech that she gave. You know, she has had the uh, honor of being given a couple of winning a couple of awards this award season, and I love how every single time she goes up to accept something,
Mhm.
she kind of makes a different point. She doesn't say the same thing over and over again. And this was really neat, where she said, you know, just continue to chase your dreams, and talking about how she was a singer and she got into acting and she didn't think this was for her, and which really spoke and powered to me. So I loved that.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the top Oscar speeches of the night. I thought they're getting us started. Let's go animated here, Michaela. So the best animated short film was won by War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, and the animated feature film The Boy and the Heron was the winner there. I think we've got both of these categories right. You and I still need to see The Boy and the Heron, and now that's definitely on the to-do list since it took home the top prize there last night. What'd you think about our animated films, Michaela?
I was pretty happy with it. I mean, it's makes me mad in a way that I'm gonna have to wait till like June, I think, to see Boy and the
Mm.
Heron. I think that's when they say that it's gonna get streaming. So if you did see it, any of our listeners, if you want to tell us a little bit about it, don't spoil anything, but tell us what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it because we picked that. Any tips for things to look out for, or special things that you liked about it in particular? That'd be good to hear.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go on to the writing here. I really liked the way they presented the screenplays, and they actually, were showing like the written out dialogue on the screen over some scenes. I thought that that was pretty cool. And we had the best original screenplay was won by Anatomy of a Fall. We were very excited about that one. I don't think that either of us picked Anatomy of a Fall. You might have, Michaela. I don't remember.
I
There,
did.
that was the winner in the original screenplay and the best adapted screenplay. A bit of a surprise here to us at least, and from the people who entered our pick'em, but American Fiction was the winner for adapted screenplay.
Yeah, it sure was. And I was a little shocked that it was best adapted screenplay, mostly because I'd forgotten that it was adapted from a book. I had picked Oppenheimer to win because it had also been from a book and it's 1,000 pages, and somehow they made that into something that's 3 hours long. I didn't realize American Fiction was also from a book. Super clean though, man. That script is awesome.
The script is great, and his acceptance speech was also really great, talking about giving young filmmakers a chance to get out there and prove their mettle. And yeah, can agree with that sentiment for sure. Let's get into Poor Things of it all, Michaela, because they were the big winner here, three in a row for the evening here. So we have the best makeup and hairstyling, best production design, and best costume design. Now, myself, I don't know that I would have necessarily pegged Poor Things to win all of these. Production design, certainly. Makeup and hairstyling, definitely warranted, I think. Wasn't my pick. And costume design, kind of the same, but you can't argue with the technical merits of Poor Things, the way that that movie came together, the way that it looked, all the things. Poor Things was all the things last night.
Poor Things was all the things. I don't think I gave enough kudos when I was thinking about this for best costume design to Poor Things, because
Hmm.
it took some things that were like historical, but also made them like really outlandish and kind of crazy looking, kind of the way that Barbie had to kind of do the same sort of thing. And I picked Barbie. So I lost there. But yeah, I'm glad that it got the accolades that it deserved, and I'm really excited that it won for best production design, because that sky, I'm telling you, if you know, you know, that sky is beautiful. So
That's right.
so cool looking.
That's right. We're going to get a print of that made. Michaela can hang it up in her house and just stare at it all the time.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Um Next, we had the best international feature film. The Zone of Interest won. I don't know if anybody was in our house was really surprised by that. We had seen all but, well, I had seen all but Lo Capitano of this, and to me, it was a clear winner. um, the really heavy content, really, but the acceptance speech I thought was really beautiful.
Yeah, it was a pretty clear indicator when you also get nominated for Best Picture of the Year out of that category as
Mm.
well that you're going to take it. So yeah, Zone of Interest, very well warranted there on that one. Love to see it. Love to see it. Best Supporting Actor, Ryan Gosling was robbed. Let's move on to the next category straight
Oh,
away.
no, 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 we are
Joe.
not. No, we are going to have a moment where I say, congratulations to Robert Downey Jr., who I wrote while he was, I don't know, incarcerated at one point 25
Mm.
years ago. Um, I I don't think I've cried so hard when I saw somebody win in a while. Amazing. I loved his speech. I loved how, again, they had everybody kind of come out, all the actors come out and kind of pay homage. They had these five previous winners come out and
Mhm.
talk to talk to the talents and that was in the room being nominated and acknowledged that night. Ki Huy Kwan, amazing. He was so excited for Robert Downey Jr. He was just so happy, and I thought that that was also really sweet.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, Kei Kwan gives it his seal of approval. I guess I'm going to have to give it my seal of approval too. Best
Mm-hmm.
visual effects. This one was a kind of a 50-50 coin toss here in terms of our pick'em, but Godzilla minus one was the winner of the night, and it is a gorgeous looking Godzilla film. Godzilla looks great. Tokyo looks great. It all looks great, and was the winner there. And I love they had their own little like Godzilla little like toys that they
Yeah.
were carrying around with them. That's fun.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. To that point, best film editing, Oppenheimer took it away for that, which I think we both had agreed on. That was one of the many that we agreed on that we thought
Hmm.
would take it home. Really good there. And then we go into the documentaries, which was super cool to see. Man, documentaries are hard. I think this may be the first time that we both got them right. It was definitely the
Mm-hmm.
first time I got both right.
Yeah, it was. I think it is the first time that we got both of these right, and I think they were by far my favorites in both of these categories this year. So excited to see that. The documentary feature was 20 Days in Mariupol, and the best documentary short film was The Last Repair Shop. And Michaela cried for Robert Downey Jr. She cried with Divine Joy Randolph, but she cried the most when the little girl from The Last Repair Shop went up there to go onto the stage. She looked so happy. That was pretty awesome.
That was really awesome. That was really awesome. I felt like, um, first of all, if you've not seen Last Repair Shop, it's on Disney Plus. Go do yourself a favor. It's 40 minutes long. It'll make you smile. It'll make your heart sing. It's so good. Secondly, I thought it was so amazing that they were at least able to have one person from the documentary, and one of the students that like benefited from the Last Repair Shop to be there. She was so cute,
Hmm.
and she was just yeah, like, oh my gosh, she just held on so tight to that Oscar. It was just heartwarming. I loved it so much.
Yeah, and they did a little shout, and it sounded like some maybe some other kids or some of the
Yeah.
employees at the repair shop there were in the audience as well too. So cool stuff, cool stuff.
Yes. When 20 Days of Mariupol won, man, that was hard. I really loved the acceptance speech of the filmmaker there. Um, Look, it's really important that we watch documentaries. They are important aspects of film and entertainment, because of their educational content. And I think every year it gets more and more intense and more dire and more important for us to acknowledge those. It was really hard because his speech was very rousing, where he didn't want to have he was sad he had even won. He said he was had to even make the documentary in the first place. And I really
Hmm.
loved that, and acknowledged that that was probably really, really hard for him.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. So, well warranted, great speech there. Loved that. Best cinematography was Oppenheimer. I guess that 70 millimeter IMAX print that was allegedly 11 miles long and 600 pounds was what you need to do to win cinematography. So, well warranted there. Let's talk about the live action short, Michaela. You went with your heart on this one. It cost you a win because the winner here was The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Seemed clear to everyone but you, Michaela. And maybe unrightfully so. Wes Anderson finally wins his Oscar. Wasn't even there. Where were we at, Wes?
Well,
What were you doing?
I don't know. I don't know where he was. Not getting his Oscar. That he it was like he'd been nominated 7 times before. I feel like it
Yeah,
was
yeah, I
some
think seven,
somebody
I think. Seven, eight.
seven
Yeah,
or
seven,
eight,
I
something like
think.
that.
Yeah.
And you weren't there, man. I hope you're okay. I mean,
Hopefully you're
look,
okay.
we're not making fun. But if something was bad, but they're like, really? But everybody else go see Night of Fortune, because that's really good.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Another one that I missed, and I thought that I should have changed my mind on and my heart on, was Best Sound. Zone of
Mm-hmm,
Interest
hmm.
took that away. And thinking back, I don't know why I didn't pick it. Just thinking about it now, it's like, duh, it's so apparent that was the sound had such an impact on the story itself. But I was glad
Hmm.
to see that it got its second accolade of the night.
Absolutely, yeah. Zone of Interest is the winner for Best Sound. I think even if you go back and listen to our preview show, I think Jake and you and myself all basically just lauded the sound design of the Zone of Interest, and then we all picked Oppenheimer anyways. So, yeah, very excited to see Zone of Interest win that. Well warranted. Loved it. Let's stay on the sound train here, Michaela. Best original score, Oppenheimer, the winner there, Ludwig Göransson, and the best original song, What Was I Made For, from the movie Barbie by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell. Uh, Beautiful, stirring rendition of that song. I mean, the song is beautiful and stirring, but really love that. They were kind of on that like turntable. It just kind of slowly spun around through the course of the song to, expose them to the audience. That was really beautiful. I love kind of the pink. like circle that was in behind him, and this happened a couple of times through the nights. It kind of split
Mhm.
open, and then you saw the whole orchestra in there, which is really cool. Love that, and then obviously Oppenheimer there for best original score.
Yeah, no, it was great. I loved she had was closing her eyes and singing, and when she opened her eyes, she was in front of the audience that was already doing a standing ovation for her, and she's visibly like shocked and overcome. I loved that so much. And when she won, it was the second time she'd won in 2 years, right? So she's the first person
Hmm.
to do that in a real long time. So congratulations, Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell. Um, we're getting down to the wire now. Best actor. Um, so, Killian Murphy for Oppenheimer. This was great. I really loved his win. I loved his speech. Um, he looked like he'd had a couple cheeseburgers since we watched him in Oppenheimer, which was really
Yes.
good because he was looking real gaunt at the end of Oppenheimer's film. Uh, and so that
Mhm.
was good. It was good to see him.
A much healthier complexion there for Killian Murphy last night for sure. Yeah, big winner there. I loved this too. Nicolas Cage was one of the presenters of the five, and I love that he spoke on behalf of Paul Giamatti. That was great, and talked about his wearing the fake contact to give him
Yeah.
the lazy eye in the film. And love Nicolas Cage. Let's get more Nicolas Cage out there going for sure. Best
Yes.
director, we're going to stay in the Oppenheimer zone with Christopher Nolan finally wins his Oscar. A lot of really good entries into the Oscar list for Christopher Nolan, but Oppenheimer was the one to do it.
Yes. Yes. And I um was not surprised by this, but I loved that it looked genuinely like all of the other directors were happy for him. He was so humble too. I don't know why I got it in my head that he was not, um, but he thanked his wife and he thanked everybody so beautifully, and I thought that was really special. Um,
Mhm.
given kind of these epic sweeping things, you expect him to have this. I don't know. I expected him to have a much more like grandiose or high opinion of himself, and it was nice to see the humility.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go on then to Best Actress. Uh, No one in the room was more surprised than Emma Stone when she won. I don't think she looked genuinely confused that they called her name over Lily Gladstone's name. I know I was certainly a little confused, but I mean, you can't argue with the performance there from Emma Stone in Poor Things. Her portrayal of Bella Baxter was excellent, but a bit of a shock, I think. Not necessarily, I don't know that I would say that it was an upset necessarily, but definitely a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we talked last week and we did our you pickums, I think they were like, "Are there any that you're like putting it out now? Like it's definitely going to happen." And I think I had said Lily Gladstone for Best Actress. I mean, I thought it was in the bag. And Lily, to her credit, she seemed also surprised but very happy for Emma, which was nice to see. Because sometimes with things like this, you can tell that people are really disappointed. I mean, they're all actresses, right? So they have the ability to put on a brave face no matter what they're feeling inside. But I
Hmm.
thought Emma's complete like she didn't have anything prepared. She was like, I did not expect I was gonna win, and then she was like, my dress is broken, my dress is broken. Don't look at my dress. Like it was just really sweet, and it was nice to see her be just so gracious about and surprised.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So, those were the winners of the Oscars, save one. What's our last one, Michaela?
Best Picture, and is it anybody's surprise
Best
that it's
Picture.
Oppenheimer?
To no one's great surprise, it was Oppenheimer was the winner. We talked about Oppenheimer way back. It was our first episode that got cut due to the strike, and so it came out a little bit later on than we'd originally intended. But I think going into seeing Oppenheimer, we're like, this is probably going to win Best Picture. Coming out of the theater 3 hours later, we're like, that's going to win the Best Picture. And last night was confirmed. Your Best Picture of 2024 is Oppenheimer. What do you think about Oppenheimer, Michaela?
I mean, I think it's an important film. I'm glad that it won. There were a lot of really amazing films this year, and I think given kind of every year, they pick one that's got to be a stamp on kind of a current look at what's happening in the world. And so I think Oppenheimer really asked some important questions. It changed my thinking about how I felt about that, and learning about the historical event in a way that was entertaining and not 1,000 pages was also cool. I mean,
Mhm.
I never would have read that book, and now I'm inspired to. I never would have learned more about that period of history and that particular aspect of what it took to create the atom bomb, and then asking the important questions about what happens now and what happens next, and who did that affect, and who is it going to continue to affect down the line as citizens of the earth, right? So I'm glad it won. I mean, I think I would have been real surprised if anything else had won.
Yeah, we talked about that on the pre-show. That is, it would be more surprising if something else would have won Best Picture than Oppenheimer winning it. And yeah, capped off its evening there with 7 Oscars. And actually, 7 Oscars is an incredible night. But it still seemed like like it fell short of what kind of everyone was expecting going into the night. But 7 Oscars, really good stuff there. And speaking of Oppenheimer, we've already covered it here on the show. And normally, we like to talk about the Best Picture winners. So what we're going to do this week, in lieu of that, we're going to go ahead and do a new cocktail. We're going to try our best to recreate Fanny's Oppenheimer cocktail, which is also something of a tradition here at Drink the Movies. So we're going to
That's
give
right.
that our best shots. We're going to talk about that and then re-release the Oppenheimer episode this week. And then you can look forward to Dune Part 2 coming the following week. So maybe we're going to have back-to-back Oscar big winners here on Drink the Movies as well. But yeah, look for that Oppenheimer episode to drop with some bonus content coming your way this week. So that's it, Michaela. Another Oscars in the book. We don't need to dwell on the fact that you beat me in our Oscar pick'em. We can just let that go. Bygones be bygones. We'll just assume that we're both pretty good at picking these things, but not as good as the rest of the people here. There were several who topped us this year, like I said, including your husband. So we're going to have to live that one down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking it's fake news. I don't think it's real. I don't know. I don't know how he, and to be fair, he didn't watch all of them with us, right? Like there were only a few that
Mm-hmm.
we weren't able to see physically because they weren't out where we live. But he watched even less of them. And so that it goes to show you don't have to see all of them to make the right choices and win the you pick 'em. Anybody can do it.
That's right. Yes. And so special thank you to everyone who took the time to enter that. It's so much fun. I get like a smile on my face every time I get a little ping in my email that says someone has sent in a submission. So thank you to everyone who took the time to go through all those categories and share your Oscar picks with us. That was amazing. Really appreciate that. And yeah, now we're going to have to start planning for next year's Pick'em giveaway. And like I said, we've already seen Dune 2. So that's one of our Oscar films off the list for next year already. So we're going to have to see how this year develops. Pretty good Oscar night. Very happy with it. We had a good time hanging out. Our annual little Oscar mini party that we have. Loved the Don Julio cocktails. Go back and listen to last week's episodes if you want the recipes on that, or you can check it out on our website, which is www.drinkthemovies.com. Let us know what you thought about Oscar night on any of the social medias. It's at Drink the Movies everywhere, and facebook.com/drinkthemovies. And make sure that you're liked and subscribed on the podcast feeds, leave us reviews, all that stuff, and look for Oppenheimer coming your way soon. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up here for our lobby bar this week, Michaela. A little bit of an extended lobby bar, but that's okay. Need to take some time to talk about the Oscars. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time on
Drink
Drink the
the
Movies.
movies. Robert
Congratulations,
Downey Jr. for the
I
win.
guess. Robert Downey Jr. and Michaela for the win.
You know it.